Greetings and welcome to the Friday edition of Prime News on my Major Prime Live from Studio A at Fengodrombange in the country's economic capital, Douala. My name is Gienda Peldrin Blanche King, and ahead of this edition of International Day for Peace, which will be celebrated on Monday, September 21, 2020, some young Cameroonians in the Dubombari littoral region of the country have been drilled on sustainable peace in the country. The two-day workshop, which took place at the premises of the Dubombari Council, was championed by Honorable Noran Fortsing, Member of Parliament for Vuri East constituency. Let's now have an excerpt of today's event.
Veiller la paix, prêcher la paix, parce qu'on ne sait jamais, ça peut changer pas mal de personnes. Alors, à l'aube de la célébration de la Journée internationale de la paix, qui sera le 21 septembre, moi je pense que chacun parmi nous devrait vraiment se regarder dans le miroir et se demander s'il œuvre vraiment pour la paix. Ou bien, qu'est-ce qui fait exactement pour que cette paix-là règne au Cameroun? Je pense que nous tous, nous sommes responsables de nos actes, et nos actes aussi ont beaucoup d'impact sur les gens autour de nous, et il faudrait qu'on soit un tout petit peu plus conscient et beaucoup plus patriote. Mon engagement reste toujours le même, j'ai pas changé, et comme je l'ai dit tantôt, la paix c'est quelque chose qui se travaille tout le temps, tous les jours et à certains moments de la vie. Donc, oui.
A partnership agreement has been signed between the Court of Cameroon, represented by the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Bargangele, and a German consortium to ease the process of obtaining a biometric passport via digitalization to facilitate the production of the official document. Dolly Ngande reports in the following.
As from the month of March 2021, biometric passports will be made available in 24 hours for those in Cameroon and 48 hours for those in the diaspora. This is the conclusion arrived at during the signing of a partnership agreement between the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Bargangele, and the CEO of INCM Consortium, which has set the ball rolling for work to start on the production of new and secured biometric passports in Cameroon. Given that the process of obtaining a biometric passport in Cameroon takes like forever, Labino Kareti says work is due for commencement immediately.
We will immediately start the work and be ready for March 2021 to issue the first passports.
Going by the partnership agreement, the whole process of obtaining a passport in Cameroon will be digitalized while facilitating the rapid production of these official documents as the consortium braces up to start work in the days ahead.
The blank passports will be produced in our factory in Lisbon, in Portugal, in the state printer of Portugal, and then they will be dispatched here at the personalization center in Yaoundé, where the pictures and the biographic data will be included in the passports, and they will be ready to be issued.
Aside that, Yaoundé is due to host an ultra-modern security center which will focus on the personalization of these biometric passports. Douala, on the other hand, will have a reception center which will as well be constructed in the other 8 regions of the country. On his part, Martin Bargangele concurs that this partnership agreement will enable Cameroon stand out among countries with the best systems for rapid passport production in security. Thanks to the trustworthy bilateral ties between Cameroon and Germany, the exaggerated weight in the production of passports will soon become a thing of the past.
The divisional officer of Douala 2 subdivision has rejected the request from the youth wing of the ruling CPDM party to stage a protest around the Newbell neighborhood come September 22, 2020. This planned protest was a counter move to 4 manifestations to take place on September 22 called by the leader of the MRC political party, Professor Maurice Kamto. Details in the following report with our student journalist on internship, Abuno Clarence.
A divisional officer of the Douala 2 subdivision, DJ Pijam, has rejected a request for a protest announced by the youth wing of the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement to take place on the 22nd September 2020. This follows a release published on the 16th September 2020 by the CPDM Youth Wing president of the Douala 2 subdivision, Zhang Charlie Lee, requesting to organize manifestation on the 22nd September 2020 at the Newbell neighborhood to counteract that of the CRM political party. In response to this, DJ Bija, DO of the Douala 2 subdivision, in a release on the 17th September 2020, rejected the holding of any public protest in the subdivision, neither from the CPDM youth wing nor any other political party. According to him, the move by the CPDM youth wing is in violation of regulatory measures prohibiting any public meeting in the littoral region. It is what we call in that the Cameroon's Renaissance movement of Professor Maurice Kamto plans to organize a public protest in the main cities of Cameroon on September 22nd, 2020, with aim to oust the Yaoundé regime in place, even though their administration has restricted any public manifestation.
We now revisit the press conference organized yesterday by REDAC, a group of 5 civil society organizations led by Madame Maximilian Gombe have rejected calls by Kamto to oust His Excellency President Paul Biya. Details in the French language with student journalists on internship interpret content.
Que nous relevons des préoccupations liées au terme, au mot d'ordre relatif au départ de M. Paul Biya du pouvoir et à la convocation des élections régionales, nous sommes d'accord sur la nécessité de la mise en place de ce front commun sur les questions pertinentes suivantes. La révision consensuelle du système électoral afin de garantir les élections libres et transparentes. La résolution pacifique de la crise sociopolitique dans les régions du Nord-Ouest et du Sud-Ouest. La réconciliation nationale pour une paix durable, seul gage pour le développement au service des populations. Telle est la réponse à la correspondance du professeur Maurice Kamto au cours d'une conférence de presse tenue hier ici à Douala par 5 organisations non gouvernementales. Il s'agit bel et bien de la REDAC de Maximilien Ngombe, la NDH de Cyril Bichon, à nous le Cameroun de Marine Queen et les 2 autres.
Nous relevons des préoccupations liées au timing, au mot d'ordre relatif au départ de M. Paul Biya du pouvoir, étant entendu que la société civile ne se place pas dans la logique de chasser un président du pouvoir, et à la convocation des élections régionales, nous sommes d'accord sur la nécessité de la mise en place de ce front commun sur les questions pertinentes.
Mais comment y parvenir? Le dialogue demeure essentiel.
Municipal authorities in Kongsamba have started a demolition exercise to fight against urban disorder in that part of the country. This exercise, according to officials, will include every part of Kongsamba, as student journalist Mungo Emanuela Ngela tells us in the following report.
In a bid to fight against urban disorder in Kongsamba 1 subdivision in the Mongo division, municipality authorities have embarked on a demolition exercise around Q7 and 9 in Kongsamba. This exercise, according to council officials, is to get rid of structures that do not follow the sectoral plan. These structures have been extended into the road. According to an official, this exercise will include all areas with structures as such.
Le chantier avance normalement et nous pensons sincèrement que tout va pour le mieux.
The inhabitants on their part say move is laudable as it will create roads and better develop some areas, though they think that road linking various areas around the municipality be rehabilitated.
Ils ont vu que les gens n'ont même pas entendu que l'engin vient. Elle a remarqué qu'il était en route, il a commencé à casser.
Si vous débordez, effectivement, il doit être escompté. Puisque nous devons voir.
Les reins vont se toucher. Mais aussi, il faut passer par là pour avoir le développement. C'est vrai, ça fait mal. On comprend, ça fait mal. Mais à la fin, nous serons tous gagnants.
The demolition exercise will continue to other parts of Kongsamba to ensure a clean city.
At least 1 person has been confirmed dead and several others injured in an accident along the Douala-Kongsamba stretch of road. An 18-seater bus collided with a truck. Details with Audrey Zatza.
Accident which has caused the life of an aging man on the National Road number 6 along the Douala-Kongsamba road is said to be as a result of a collision between a lorry leaving for the Mungu to load sand and a bus traveling from Lum to Douala. According to the eyewitness, in an attempt to dodge a car which had left a group of other cars to get into the road, the 18-seater bus lost control of the engine and got into a collision with the heavy-duty truck, causing the loss of a life.
Now, 1 person died for this accident. So yeah,
The others, according to him, were immediately taken to the hospital. While some believe that reckless drivers who speed up ignoring warnings are to be blamed and insist that their vehicles be burnt. And other things, blame should be put on cattle rearers who allowed their cows move on the road without much control. It is to be reminded that precautions should be taken when driving in order to avoid such sad incidents.
Nora Kakebi has details of news-making events in the African continent. Her report.
United Nations watchdog reports that human rights violations are still being committed in Burundi, including sexual violence and murder. According to the UN, hopes had been pinned on President Evariste Ndayishimiye, who took over from his predecessor Pierre Nkurunziza. It was hoped the new leader could change the face of the country, but on the contrary, the Commission of Inquiry on Burundi described evidence of killings and disappearance, torture, sexual violence, and evidence of summary execution. In recent weeks, there have been arbitrary detentions and disappearances. The investigators also looked at serious violations committed on youngsters under 18, who said they were specifically targeted and forcibly recruited into the ruling party's youth league. According to the UN, therefore, the report will be presented to the Human Rights Council. Meanwhile, in Guinea, the opposition movement has announced a new round of protests from late September, just weeks ahead of the presidential election. The movement is opposing President Alpha Conde's controversial bid to run for a third term come October 18th. The opposition's announcement came as after Conde declared coronavirus restrictions would be extended for another month, in which measures include ban of gatherings, meaning the protests could be illegal. Human rights defenders and opposition accuse authorities of using the coronavirus pandemic to repress protests and political rallies ahead of the vote. In Equatorial Guinea, Eric Musambani, who was the first swimmer to compete in the Olympics for the country and became a global star, has transformed swimming in his country. According to Eric, he did not have much experience on the international level and didn't know how to move his arms and feet. Back then in Equatorial Guinea, there were no Olympic-sized swimming pools, and in the pool where he trained, it was a 12-meter pool. A pool that small, but he would train at 5 in the morning, says Eric, and he embodied the Olympic spirit. Musambani has become a symbol for swimming in Equatorial Guinea.
Thanks, Nora Kakebi, and that's it for Prime News. Thanks for being a part of today's edition. The news was produced by Ewane Elaine Olinga, coordinated by Lasha Kingsley. My name is Genda Peojim Blanche King. Till we meet again on Monday, 6:30, God willing, for another edition of Prime News on My Major Prime. We're urging you to stay tuned at 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Kim Lunaf and his panelists will be live to discuss issues about Cameroon, Africa, and the world. Enjoy today's edition of Prime Hour. Happy weekend. Good night.